Good day, everyone. We are Group 2, and our topic is the ecology of communities and human population. So, first of all, what is the ecology of communities? Let me allow to read this so I can elaborate, so I can and na maipaliwanag ko ng maayos. Ayan. So, community ecology is an expanding from the word community, expanding and rich subfield of ecology. Ecologists investigate the factors that influence biodiversity, community structure, and the distribution and abundance of species. So these factors include interactions with the abiotic world and the diverse array of interactions that occur between species. So, from the word interactions, so these interactions between species are what define ecological communities. So, it makes sense that that community ecology studies these interactions anywhere they take place. From I want to example from a tide pool to the whole oceans. Nakita nyo yung difference, parang nag-growth agad yung community, yung population niya. From the tide pool, yung kiddie pool, kunyari kiddie pool, no, yung maliit na swimming pool, na naging karagatan. Ayan, no? And, isa pa, no, mga kapatid, from ito pa, para mas maintindihan po natin, from a rotting log to an entire forest. Pansin nyo agad yung community, paano siya nag-growth. Parang ganun lang po sa atin din, mga kapatid. No? So, let's proceed. Because interspecies interaction is mostly competitive. It means that competitive doesn't necessarily means that community ecology is all about big, no? Malaki, bloody, no? Parang matugo siya na parang siyang scenes like from cable TV nature shows. So actually, a lot of it is, no, ay mapapansin nyo na hindi siya isahan lang. Pansin nyo, pang maramihan. Kasi nga, community. So, it's also para siyang note ng competition. No, parang while prevalent and important. So, importante. So, it's also pretty dangerous. Para isa siyang pagdating ng competition, mga kapatid, ay isa siyang delikado, kain siya ng mahassle, and can really hurt so a lot of interspecies. So, interaction is actually about sidestepping direct competition and instead finding ways to divvy up resources or otherwise let the species just get along. Like I have illustration. So next. So I like this my illustration because bakit kaya ito ang illustrate ni Brother John? Ayan. Johnfrancis. So, right now, we're surrounded potentially lethal interspecific competition going on all over the place. So, like, sa Naga City. Pansin nyo, dati hindi naman siya ganun. Hindi naman siya ganun ka, Pero ngayon, mapapansin nyo, ay dumami na yung mga building, dumami na yung pamilihan, parang kung paano siya lumalago, no? Like in our like dito ay mapapansin niyo na sa ating panikwason ay lumago siya. Dating mabundok, ngayon may pamilihan na rin, may swimmingan na, 'di ba? So it's like a competition. So bakit kaya ito ang illustration? So bago ko yan I like to elaborate this. So since like animals, we usually think of competition as going on between animals. So, but it really happens between almost all members, like members of the kingdom. Minsan, bakit ko ba nasabi yung animals of kingdom? May kani-kanila rin din silang pamumuhay, species, no? Like animals. Like us, may buhay naman lahat. Kaya pag sinabing species. So nagkokompetensyahan talaga. So they're going after the same resources that they need for their survival. Lahat naman tayo ay nagsusurvive. Kailangan mag-survive sa pang-araw-araw natin. And magpatuloy sa ating population growth or ating community growth. So mapapansin nyo, bakit ito yung aking ginawang illustration. So, mapapansin natin sa mga garden, pag sinabing weeds, hindi yung weeds na basta weeds are competing with the sunflower. No? Minsan, corn, and nag-aagawan sila sa nutrients and water in the soil. So, in these resources, because they're finite, hindi naman infinite yung kanilang pinagkukunan. So, in this area, are the limiting factors that we're talking about. So, the population can only get as big as these factors will allow now. Particularly nasty weed could, over time, eliminate the veggies entirely. No, may eliminate siya. And it's one of the most fundamental properties in community, sa ating community ecology. And also like sa buhay natin. Because ang fact nito is when the two species are competing for the same resources, parehas na resources, no? Ay one of them is eventually going to be more successful and eliminate the other. So yung isa mananalo, yung isa matatalo. So, ganun po yung sinasabing competition pagdating sa the ecology of community. No? Hindi mawawala yung community na yun sa ating buhay. Kahit sa pang-araw-araw nating ginagawa. So, that's it. Yeah.
To continue our discussion, let's proceed. What is the difference between population and community? The main difference between population and community is that a population is a group of individuals of a particular species living in a particular ecosystem at a particular time, whereas a community is a collection of population living in a particular ecosystem at a particular time. Furthermore, a population consists of a single species, while a community consists of several species living together. Population and community are two levels of classification in ecology. Both describe the groups of individuals living in a particular ecosystem. Population versus community. A population is a group of individuals of a particular species living and interbreeding in a defined geographical area at the defined time period. The number of individuals in the population defines the size of the population. Therefore, the size of the population varies over time due to birth, death, immigration, and immigration. Moreover, it increases under favorable environmental conditions and plentiful resources. Here, The ability of a population to increase its size to the maximum amount is called the biotic potential of the populations. For example, a population is not as narrow as a specific pride of lions. Instead, it could be all of the lions that live within a certain region, such as a particular forest or preserve. What is a community? A community is a group of two or more populations in a particular ecosystem living in a particular time. Though the individuals that belong to the different species interbreed, a number of ecological relationships occur between them within the community called interspecific interactions. Several types of interspecific interactions may occur, including interspecific competition, predation, mutualism, commensalism, parasitism, and etc. For example, the community of the forest or preserve would consist not only of the population of lions that live there, but also the population of the big cats, antelopes, zebras, and other organisms existing within the same space. Similarities between population and community. Population and community are two levels of ecology consisting of groups of organisms living in a particular ecosystem at a particular time period. They comprise the biotic factors. Also, both population and community are important while describing the ecological relationships between individuals in a particular ecosystem. Difference between population and community. A population refers to a group of interbreeding individuals of the same species, isolated from other groups, while a community refers to a group of association of populations of two or more different species occupying the same geographical area and in a particular time. Hence, this is the main difference between populations and community. Consequence. A group of population make up a community in a particular ecosystem, while a community and a biotic factors make up an ecosystem. Size of the group. Furthermore, a population is a small group in an ecosystem while a community is a large group when compared to a population. Number of species involved. Another major difference between population and community is that a population consists of a single species while a community consists of several species living together. Morphology and behavior. Because of the above, all the individuals in the population are morphological and behavioral similar, while the individuals in a community can be categorized into groups in terms of morphology and behavior. Interbreeding. Individuals in a population freely interbreed, while interbreeding is absent among the different individuals of a community. Type of competition. The type of competition attributes to another difference between population and community. Intra-specific competition occurs among the individuals of a population, while inter-specific competition occurs among the individuals of a community. Relationship between prey and predator. There are no prey-predator relationship among individuals in a population, while prey-predator relationship occurs among individuals in a community. Conclusion. A population is a group of individuals that belongs to a particular species living in a particular geographical area at a particular time. On the other hand, a community is two or more populations living in the same geographical area at a particular time. The individuals in a populations interbreed while various types of interspecific interactions occur among the individuals in the community. The main difference between population and community is the number of species and the types of interactions. That's all.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Maricris Anabe, and today we are going to discuss the human population. Half of this topic will be discussed by my partner later. So, human population. Kung mapapansin natin, yung bansa natin ngayon ay napakabilis ang pagdami ng populasyon. Sabi nga, the more higher population of a certain country might affect the economy dahil nagiging siya ng walang trabaho dahil sa dami ng tao. Kagaya sa ating bansa ngayon, marami sa mga Pilipino ang lack of job and opportunities compared dun sa mga employer at mga companies. Hindi kagaya ng ibang bansa like Australia, Canada, hindi sila ganun ka-overpopulated dahil bilang lang yung member ng kanilang family, hindi kagaya sa ating bansa na marami per family. Kaya kung mapapansin natin, ang ating country ay open para mag-migrate. Kaya marami ang mga Pilipino ang nangingibang bansa dahil malaki ang impact or contribution nila sa ibang bansa. So, sinasabi din na ang human population ay tumutukoy sa taas ng bilang ng mga naninirahan sa isang naibigay na puwang o oras. At ito ay maaaring masukat sa pamamagitan ng tinatawag na arithmetic formula. Ang salitang paglaki din po ng populasyon ay maaaring gamitin kapag binabanggit ang paglaki ng populasyon ng anumang species ng hayop. The power of population growth is greater than the power of Earth to produce subsistence by Thomas Malthus. So, ayon po kay Thomas Malthus na yung power of Earth is tumutukoy po ito dun sa ating pong mga natural resources or mga living things, animals. Halimbawa po nito is sa dagat. Kasama na po yung mga kinakain po natin. Compare po natin dun sa population na mas mabilis po dumami ang populasyon ng tao kaysa sa kanila. China's one-child policy. In 1970, the average Chinese woman had about 6 children. Since 1979, China has used a system of rewards and punishments to enforce a one-child limit to slow population growth. In 2005, there were 32 million more males than females in China under the age of 20. So, ang policy po na ito ay pinatupad po ng government ng Chinese na matagal na pong tanggap ng kanilang bansa upang kontrolin po yung paglaki ng kanilang populasyon. Dahil sinasabi po nila na kung hindi raw nakontrol yung populasyon ay maaaring maapektuhan ang kanilang economic development. Samantala, yung mga rural family, pinapayagan naman ng government na magkaroon ng 2 anak kapag yung panganay ay babae upang masundan ng lalaki. Ngunit kapag mahihirap naman po at lumampas sa higit na isa, ay kanila po itong pinagmumulta. As of 2010, the human population is 6.8 billion and counting. So, year of 2010, tinataya pong nasa 6.8 billion yung counting ng human population. History of human population growth. Advance in agriculture and industry have led to longer lifespans and remarkable population growth. Agriculture helps people meet their nutritional needs, increase free time to pursue crops and trading. Industry improves sanitation, medicine, and food production. Sa pamamagitan ng agriculture at industry, napapadali ang iba't ibang gawain ng tao, tulad na lang ng pagpapatayo ng bahay, pagkolekta ng pagkain, at iba pa. Dahil nakakatulong ito upang mapalago ang kanilang pamumuhay na kung saan nagkaroon sila ng mahusay na sistema ng kalusugan at ng edukasyon. Infant mortality and life expectancy. Populations are likely to grow when infant mortality is low and life expectancy is high. So, infant mortality is a number of babies out of 1,000 that die during their first year of life, while the life expectancy is the average number of years person is expected to live. Population growth rate describes the change in population size during a given period of time. So, yung infant mortality po ay tumutukoy ito sa bilang ng mga babies na out of 1,000 ay namamatay during their first year of their life. So, while the life expectancy naman is tumutukoy naman ito sa mga inaasahang mabubuhay ang isang tao batay sa taon ng kanyang kapanganakan. Sinasabi na mas mag-grow ang isang populasyon kapag ang infant mortality is low and the life expectancy is high. Recent human population growth. Growth rate of human population has slowed from 2.1% to about 1.2% since the 1960s. Population growth rates vary by region. Some nations have negative population growth rates, meaning the population is getting smaller. Humans use technology to extend Earth's carrying capacity for our species. So, sinasabi po na ang human population po is bumaba from the 2.1% to about 1.2% since the year of 1960. Kaya ang ginagawa ng tao is gumamit sila ng teknolohiya para ma-extend yung Earth's carrying capacity for our species. Demography, describing the human population. Population size is the number of people or bilang ng mga taong naninirahan sa isang lugar. And the population density is the number of people living per meter or per kilometer. At ito ay tumutukoy sa average na populasyon bawat square sa isang lugar. Ito ay nagbibigay kaalaman sa mga kondisyon ng mga naninirahan sa isang bansa. And the population distribution, how people are distributed within an area. When we talk about population distribution, it's all about how people are spread across the earth. When we study population distribution, we examine why some places have population which are more tightly packed than others. World population in 1950 to 2050. So, some scientists predict that there will be 9 billion people in Earth by 2050, while others maintain that the population will be closer to 10.5 billion. So, kung makikita po natin sa graph, ito po yung some scientists prediction na in the year 2050, merong 9 billion people sa buong mundo.
To continue to our discussion, let's proceed the fertility rate. It refers the number of children born alive to women of that age during the year as a proportion of the average annual population of women of the same age, or average number of children a female as during her life. And next, age structure is the distribution of people of various age, or allows better production of population growth plus the ability to associate this growth with the level of economic development in the region. And next, sex ratio. It refers the total number of males for every 100 female in the population, or it describes the relative numbers of females and males. And next, the demographic transition. Demographic transition, it is a phenomenon and theory which refers to the historical shift from high birth rates and high death rates in societies with minimal technology, education, and economic developments. The demographic transition have 4 stages, where first, pre-industrial stage, second, transitional stage, and the third, industrial stage, and the fourth is post-industrial stage. First, industrial stage. Birth rates and death rates are high. But transitional stage birth dates are high, but death rates are declining. And the industrial stage birth rates start to decline and death rates stay low. And the post-industrial stage, both birth dates and death rates fall to low and stable levels. And next, social factors and population growth. Higher fertility, infant mortality, and death rates. And lower life expectancy and low per capita resource. Let's proceed to lesson 8.3, people and their environments. First, environmental impacts. The environmental impacts of human depends on way they lives or live. The wealth gap. The next is the wealth gap. Economic inequality, most notable, measured using the distribution of income and the distribution of wealth. And it describes the disparity of cumulative assist across races and ethnicities. And the third, impact of technology. Impact of technology have negative impacts and positive impacts. First, let's proceed the negative impacts. Negative impacts has resulted in pollution, biodiversity, loss, and climate change. And the positive impacts enables long, healthier, more comfortable lives. And that's all.